I think that's a little. Everybody think I'm always playing. Call me. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my because I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro.
What's up, internet folks? My name is Ralph, and welcome to the channel. I have been very under the weather for the past few days with one of those nasty summer colds. You can probably still hear it in my voice, and I apologize for that. But I am returning unto the world of the living as well as the internet. And for my return this episode, I wanted to touch back on the Rampage Jackson situation, mainly because his father Rampage has released a statement that, in my personal opinion, is not a very good look, but he did it. It's out there. So we're going to go ahead and read through it. I'll give my 2 cents on it, and you can give your 2 cents on it in the comments. Here we go. This has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all the low IQ people fall for clickbait. Yes, my son took things too far, and I'm pissed at him for being a piece of shit and the way he handled it. But if Psycho Stu wasn't drunk and wouldn't have hit my son over the head with a real beer can while he was live streaming on his own stream, then Knox wouldn't have felt like they had to make things right by letting Raja get his get back in the ring. If my son would have just went to the police when the beer can incident happened, then the whole event could have gotten shut down and he could have sued. But no, my son is not smart as I'd like for him to be. Now my family and I are getting racist threats because of all the misinformation being posted so content creators can get paid for views. People actually think my son just snuck in the ring in front of a live audience and picked Psycho Stu up without permission to be there. Get smart, people. It was staged, but Raja took it too far. He only shook his hand and accepted Psycho Stu's drunken apology because they said he could get in the storyline. He was told he could fuck him up. I have witnesses that say this isn't the first time that Psycho Stu had done some drunk shit backstage to a fan. Now we have the backstory that my son attacked an innocent military vet with PTSD, like my son knew everything about the man that came up from behind him and hit him, then asked him to sell it. I have other kids to protect. I don't take kindly to threats. I'm not scared of prison or dying for my kids, and calling me names won't hurt my feelings. My son should face the consequences for going too far. He knows better. That's why he didn't tell me anything about the storyline. But Psycho Stu is lucky I wasn't there when he hit my son over the head with a beer can the day after he got a concussion from sparring the day before. I wouldn't have cared if a bunch of pro wrestlers would have jumped me. I'm a father first. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Let's all learn a lesson. Keep your damn hands to yourself. If you get paid to do fake fighting, don't disrespect people that do the shit for real. Now I put myself in this shit. DM me now. All right. So right here, the very first comment underneath Rampage's statement, from Coach Bicey. I'm assuming. I hope that's right. Coach Bicey on Instagram. You say father first, but where was the parenting when he rang you and you were on stream winding him up and feeling his crash out? Raja is a product of your parenting, and it's all over the internet for the world to see. And I couldn't agree more. I already said that this was largely due to the way that Rampage has gone about raising Raja, indicated simply by the fact of the interview in the last video I did on this little situation here, in which Rampage tells the world that he saved bond money for Raja, so don't F with him. What? Like, bro, maybe you should have spent a little more time trying to teach that young man how to act like an adult, how to control his emotions, you know? And then I've seen Rampage try to blame the passing of Raja's mother in a really violent, tragic way. And that is terrible, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to hear your excuses, dog. I don't want to hear excuses from either one of y'all. People all over the world go through horrendous stuff every day. The vast majority of them don't turn into monsters, violent lunatics, you know, 200-pound grown men that can't control their emotions. It's disgusting and it's unacceptable and it's dangerous. And if you can carry around all that weight and you can't control yourself, we don't need you. Plain and simple. And then you hear Rampage try to make excuses. He'll say he's not making excuses, but that's exactly what he's doing when he tells you Raja hasn't been the same since his mother, was taken. Raja shouldn't have been in that ring because of the concussion the previous day. Well, Raja made the decision to go. Raja could have canceled on that event. He could have called his buddy AJ over at Knox Pro Wrestling Academy or whatever it is and told him, hey man, I was injured yesterday in sparring. I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm sorry. I apologize. Can we do a rain check? Blah, blah, blah. But no, he didn't make the adult decision. He made the narcissistic, childish decision to chase clout. He couldn't take one day off from chasing that clout. And neither can Rampage. He's already been criticized in the aftermath of this incident for partying on Kick. Like he ain't got a care in the world. These people are narcissists, man. Plain and simple. And for him to sit and try to obfuscate the initiating, the inciting incident, um, tries to paint a picture that in fact is not the truth when he says that Syko Stu approached Raja from behind and hit him with a beer can. They were face to face. There were actually a few words exchanged prior to the beer can. So to Rampage, I gotta ask you, why are you misrepresenting the facts? Well, if you're not trying to make excuses, Rampage, why are you misrepresenting the facts? Because it's all on video. We all seen what happened. We all saw Psycho Stu, probably inebriated, mistake Raja for a worker. And yeah, you're probably right that had Raja, been a little smarter, he probably could have turned around and sued the promotion for the incident. Nonetheless, it was a mistake. There's camera rolling and the background scenes at a pro wrestling event. Why would they assume anything other than they're filming promotions? Now, Psycho Stu shouldn't have just gone off cuff like that for sure, but it clearly wasn't out of malice. It wasn't ill intended. He was trying to put on a show. And your stupid son had a lot of trouble understanding that, apparently. Apparently, couldn't accept it. And that's how we ended up where we are today, with you trying to make excuses for your son's behavior while saying that you're not making excuses. You're talking out of the side of your mouth, basically. And Roger's probably looking at some jail time. I mean, I certainly hope he is. Why he's not locked up yet, I do not know. I do not understand. But he certainly needs to be. I don't really see. Okay, well, I see how Psycho Stu has blame in the inciting incident. Most certainly, that was his fault. He made that mistake, but he owned up to it and he apologized. And Roger shook his hand and accepted that apology. And then he turned around and contemplated hours for the whole world to see, in conversation with the whole world, how he was going to commit a felonious assault, many people call it attempted murder, on this guy who thought at most he was maybe going to get slammed and pinned. I don't want to hear none of your excuses, Rampage. I don't want to hear none of your excuses, Raja. You're both clout chasing narcissists. I don't care how many people say they love you or how respected you are. For you to sit here and try to, well, for you to sit here and talk out both sides of your mouth, saying you're not making excuses while giving excuses for his behavior. For you to cry, oh, I'm getting racist threats. I'm sure you are getting some, no doubt. But the vast majority of people criticizing you, they have no care about anyone's race in the matter. So for you to try and throw attention to that to garner sympathy, that's gross. Um, for you to sit here and make excuses for your son while saying you're not making excuses for your son, that's gross. And for you to lie outright about the circumstances of the situation and to say that Psycho Stu came up behind Raja and hit him, well, that's punk behavior, straight up. And I'm sure that you ain't ever been considered a punk by any. But I very much get the feeling if you didn't have the weight that you have to throw around, if you were, I don't know, 150 pounds soaking wet like me, 5'6", I don't think you would be Rampage. Not based off the behavior that I see. Based off the behavior that I've seen from your son and your response to it, you are only confident because you have weight to throw around. And that's gross. That's punk behavior. You know, the biggest, strongest man in the world, he ain't tough because he can beat people up. He's tough because he has integrity. And that seems to be something that you and your son lack dramatically. That's going to be it for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me how you feel about Rampage's response in the comments. I appreciate y'all for the time that you spent with me today, and we'll see you next time. Later, Gators.